Acts of Faith, daily meditations for people of color. Ivana Mansat. You will love these. Absolutely. The healing has begun. It began when you picked up this. The goal of these offerings is to assist the children of the earth in the redevelopment of their minds, bodies, and spirits. Who are the children of the earth? The children of the darker hue. For they are the one born of the first father and mother. They are the ones who learn through trial and error how to bring forth the abundant richness of the earth. They are the ones who have the secret of the beginning and the end buried deep in their souls. These offerings are tools to be used to dig up the secrets so that they can be put to use. There are a few minor requirements to which one should adhere in order to realize the full value of these offerings. First, you must be open, ready, and willing to receive the information. Some of it will be new to you. Most of it you will have heard at some time in some way. The difference is that now you are willing to see, hear, and use the information to accomplish a goal. Stress-free, peace-filled living. You must be willing to accept that stress is the result of unfinished business. Unfinished business means that there are details which have not been taken care of. Those details are the basic foundation of what you do. What you do is live, and life must begin within. That is the second requirement. The third and final requirement is the willingness to reevaluate, reprogram, and rechannel your thinking. Stress will not go away until you decide it no longer has a place in your life. Obstacles and challenges will not stop your perception of them changes. Difficulties and disappointments may not cease, yet you can see them in different light, and a new sense of knowing everything in life is purposeful. There are 4 basic areas that create stresses and imbalance for people of color. Wahigiru, 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 Wahigiru. Remember, as a man soweth in his heart, so shall he reap. What you put in the process of freeing your mind and life from stress, you will get out of it. Change is not easy, yet it doesn't have to be difficult. A very dear astrologer friend of mine once gave a very good analysis of making change. I share it with you in the hope that it will assist you. Buried deep in the earth are precious diamonds. In order to get to them, however, we must dig and dig deep. Once we get to the foundation rock, we must apply pressure to shape and mold the diamond. It is not the digging, it is the pressure that makes diamonds. Softness is what marshmallows are made of. Soft, sweet, easy to crumble under pressure, and no good for anybody. You're being challenged to decide what you want to be, a diamond or a marshmallow. Wait, I think I see a sparkle in your eye. The pressure is on. The healing has begun. Maybe the glow from the sparkle in your eye brings light to all the world. I salute you and honor your greatness. Acts of faith. Self. Every day. From today, it's a new day, January 1. There is a power greater than myself who loves me exactly as I am. Aha! This race began the day you learned. You were expected to please other people. Parents wanted you to stay clean and be quiet. Neighbors wanted you to be respectful and helpful. Teachers wanted you to be attentive and alert. Friends wanted you to share and hang out. Whenever you failed to do exactly what someone expected of you, you weren't good or good enough. You were bad, weak, or dumb. Unfortunately, you began to believe it. Giving in to the demands day by day, you lost a little more of yourself and your understanding of the truth. The truth is, you're fine just the way you are, perfect in your imperfection. You're divine, growing brighter and more brilliant. Each day you can accept the truth of who you are. The next time you want to know who you are, what you are, if something is the right thing to do, don't ask your neighbor. Ask the power within and pay attention to your response. The divine power within knows exactly who I am. So beautiful and true. This is exactly what I wanted to tell you all along, all the time. I've learned from experience, so it's pretty. Got it. Our hearts are the wrappings which preserve God's word. We need no more. Vaheguru, Vaheguru. When was the last time you sat down to have a heart-to-heart talk with yourself? Have you really examined your heart lately? Are you harboring childhood wounds? Are you still nursing a broken heart? Are you frightened, angry, guilty, or ashamed? Is there someone you need to apologize to? Who have you forgiven lately? If God were to speak through your heart today, what would your heart hear? In the everyday quest to get through life, we sometimes forget we really do have all we need. It's tucked away safely inside of us. It contributes to our thoughts and motivates our actions. If we clear it out, it will actually speak to us and tell us exactly what to do. When was the last time you had a heart-to-heart with yourself? With a pure heart and balanced in life. Wow. Don't be afraid to look at your faults. Even though you know there is always room for improvement, we tend to shy away from criticism. Our ego tells us that being attached and quite naturally, we want to strike back. In order to be whole, healthy beings, we need to know all there is to know about ourselves. Sometimes the information must come from others. This may mean admitting that we are not always right and knowing it is okay to make a mistake and error. A mistake and error, a poor choice. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Don't be afraid to look at your faults. This may mean admitting that you're not always right and knowing it is okay to make a mistake. A mistake and error, a poor choice or bad decision does not equal there is something wrong with me. It means you are on your way to being better. You do not make mistakes on the basis of race or color. We make them because we are humans. We acknowledge our errors and face up to our shortcomings. No one can use them against us. I'm not afraid to admit when I am wrong. Take a day to heal from the lies you have told yourself and the ones that you have been told to you. Beautiful. There comes a time when you have to pause and listen to what we are telling ourselves. I'm so stupid, I'm broke, I don't know how, I can't make it anymore. Yet in the midst of our dishonest chatter, we are making great strides, accomplishing many tasks, overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. We can't see it because we are lying to ourselves. We lie because we have been lied to. You're no good, you can't do it, you can never make it. How do you think you're going to do that? We can't think because there are so many lies running loose in our minds. The only way to eradicate a lie is with the truth. You must not only speak the truth, you must think in truth. The truth is, we start from a place where success is born in the mind's eye of the Most High. The truth is that no one has ever made a true deal with the Master and lost. The truth springs forth from my mind. Good? Stop. Most of us know exactly what it is that creates pain, confusion, stagnation, and disruption in our lives. Whether it is a habit, behavior, relationship, or fear, we know. Unfortunately, we seem powerless to stop whatever it is. Sometimes we believe we don't have the discipline and willpower to stop. The behavior becomes so habitual, we do not do it without thinking. Other times we know exactly what it is and what we do, but we simply keep doing it anyway. We are the only ones responsible for what goes on in our lives. We can make excuses and blame others, but we are responsible to and for ourselves. When we find sometimes or someone creating in our lives that which we do not want, we must muster the courage and strength to stop it. Today I use my power to stop what is no longer good for me. Beautiful. You have got to get the mind cleared out before you put truth in it. That's nice. Everyone has something they are ashamed of, afraid of, or that they feel guilty about. Each of us is our own way will devise a neat little method of handling it. Some of us deny, some of us blame, some of us do a combination of both. Undoubtedly, the day will come when we will be forced to examine that which we have tucked away. We will willingly begin the process of examination by telling the truth to ourselves about ourselves. We will have the right to make mistakes. Our fault is being righteous about it. When we fail to admit our faults, the fault becomes what everyone can see. When we refuse to admit what we have done in the past, we block our path to the future. No matter how terrible we think we are, how bad we believe we have been, how low we think we have fallen, we can clear our minds and begin again. The only way out is truth. Got it? Do not wish to be anything but what you are and be that perfectly. A minister friend of mine once told me, "Oh, on the seventh day God rested. It is good and very good." Then we come along and try to improve our own perfection. For people of color, the most damaging habit we have is trying to be who and what we are not. We expend so much energy trying to fix who we are. We really get to really know ourselves, rarely. If we truly realize how precious the gift of life is, we will not waste a moment trying to improve it. If we really understand how precious we are to the gift of life, we will not waste it trying to fix ourselves. It's not about what we look like or what we have. It's not about fixing our face, body, and lives. It is about taking what we have and doing as much as we can with it. It's about learning and growing. When we are willing to learn what we don't know and use our experiences, our perfection will begin to show. I accept me as I am. No thy ideal and live for that. For each soul must give an account for its own life. Everything that happens to us and every choice we make is a reflection of what we believe about ourselves. We cannot outperform our level of self-esteem. We cannot draw to ourselves more than we believe we are worth. The things we believe and say about ourselves can become to us in many ways. Self-motivation comes from self-knowledge. We must inspire ourselves by believing we have the power to accomplish everything we set out to do. We must put faith in our ability to use mind and the spirit and picture of our lives the way we want them to be. We must use inner strength and power of our being to tear down the walls, break through the barriers, and move through the obstacles with ease. Our bodies have been freed. Now we must train our minds to believe it. I am free. Hallelujah. I am free. You may not know how to raise your self-esteem, but you definitely know how to stop lowering it. Self-esteem is a sense of value and worth that comes from positive self-image. Self-esteem begins with you and extends to all that you do, with the belief that your best is always good enough. No one but you can destroy your self-esteem. You destroy your esteem when you do not keep your word, when you do not honor the agreements and commitments you make, if you say yes when you really mean no, when you don't follow your first thought. It does not matter what your environment may be, if it is of little consequence what your past have been. It is not your concern what others may be saying or doing. It is only in your mind that you build and destroy your self-esteem. I am as great as I think I am. Wow. If thy right eye offends thee, pluck it out. The only way to eliminate stress and pain is to stop doing things that create it. It is easy to see what others do to us while we forget the trauma we create for ourselves. How we take your pick. The need to be right, lack of life purpose, how we think others see us, trying to fix the world, dishonesty with self and others, accepting someone else's stress, seeking material wealth, our spiritual values, doing it alone, my way is the right way, fear of the future, negative thought patterns, trying to prove yourselves to others, anger over the past, telling other people what to do. It all boils down to not knowing who we are. When I know me, I stop doing what's not good for me. Beautiful. When you strengthen your self-esteem, there is no room for jealousy. Jealousy is the surest way to get rid of the very person you're afraid of losing. When you say I love you, it means I want the very best of you, whether or not I'm included. You must acknowledge the feelings of jealousy to understand what they are. Jealousy is the signpost of the longings in your subconscious mind. It reminds you that what you are longing for is longing you. There are only two emotions, love and fear. When jealousy comes up, stop and recognize it as actually fear raising its ugly head. Fear of losing someone or something. Fear that there is not enough. If you allow yourself to be jealous, you cannot love. It is important to acknowledge all your feelings and not beat yourself up for having them. Your feelings are not good or bad. They just are. Jealousy is simply reminding you that you are worthy of your best. When you remember who you are, the jealousy will dissolve and you will be ready to receive what you want. I honor my feelings no matter what they are. There is absolutely no way to save people from the things in their eyes. They must gather the courage to do it for themselves. Before we were indoctrinated to the rules of the world with its do's and don'ts, we were actually very receptive. We were willing to try new things, go into forbidden places and take risks without hesitation. We do not believe in unhappiness, defeat, rejection or lack. We asked for what we wanted and we were willing to demand that it be provided. The thought the world existed to respond to our needs. It might do us well to revert back to those ways of childhood in which we want to bring home good into our lives. It's not the temper tantrums or the childish outbursts we want. It is the openness and the freedom from limitation we need. We have been taught to accept fear, lack, sorrow, restriction as a part of everyday life. We are afraid to make demands of life because we believe we can't have what we want. We no longer feel free to express what we feel when we feel it. Now we want to be everyone's friends. If only we could think like a child again, there's a good chance we would find the freedom we gave up to become adults. Today, I'm a child again, God. Heaven is where you will be when you're okay right where you are. Pretend for a moment that you are a mega beautiful, valuable, precious. Because of the skin that covers you, suddenly your homeland is invaded by hunters with bars. The hunters seem kind, yet they approach them cautiously. They pet the younglings who are innocent, less cautious. As you approach the young, the hunters attack. They beat you, they are dead, struggling for composure. The hunters steal your skin, your heritage, and your sense of your being. They leave you to die, but you survive. Your fur grows back strongly, most beautiful than before. Somehow it doesn't make sense. The very thing that makes you who and what you are is a source of pain. The confused, distrustful, you hide yourself or camouflage your fur, your essence. Silently, you begin to curse your fur because the hunters return again and again. You begin to understand you will never get away from being who you are. As long as you have fur, you will be hunted. The issue is, will you curse your fur, give up and die, or just continue to be proud but cautious mink? I will not hide who and what I am. Pretty. Successful people succeed because they learn from their failures. The most difficult thing to face in life are the things you do not like about yourself. Not your ears, legs, hair, or these habits and abilities you feel are not up to par. It is the ugly little things you know about yourself that need a good long look. You recognize it when you see it in others, but you make excuses for yourself. You may go to the length to cover the shortcoming, while you quickly point out the ills in another. Since the very thing that you want to hide is the very thing that shows itself, you need to be able to say, I know that and I'm working on it. It takes a loving heart, a willing mind, and a sensitive spirit to get to the core of the self. But when you do, you can root out the seeds of ugliness. I acknowledge, accept, and embrace everything about me. You must realize that the future lies chiefly in our own hands. If you can blame anyone for any condition in your life, then you, not they, are digging your grave. Your chief adversary comes to teach you a lesson. Your most difficult challenge is strengthen your survival skills. Your greatest fear deepens your faith. Your weakest ability beckons you to grow. Anyone and anything can challenge you. It does not overtake you until you surrender. Only you can determine what you do and how you respond in a situation. It is your responsibility to make a decision about what is important to you. Choose what you want and how you are going to get it. Once you accomplish that, it is your responsibility to move forward until you get it. I am taking a stand for me. Sitting in a sacred place means you must sit alone. There are times when we have sacred blessings to learn. These are the lessons that will push up to the limit of our greatness. At these times, it may seem that others are abundantly rejecting or criticizing us without a just cause. They are not. No matter how hard we try, we can't seem to do, say, or be what others expect of us. We can't. The harder we try to pull others to us, farther they move away. The more we try to fix things, the worse they seem to get. What we must do, I have these very sacred times to pull back, withdraw, and prepare to grow. Our lessons are very sacred. They are the basic ingredient of our greatness. To accept them, we must be open to receive them. We must be willing to understand them. We must be alone. I am sitting in a sacred place. In the solitude of your mind are the answers to all your questions about life. You must take the time to ask and listen. There are times when we feel that if we need to be alone, we must just want to get away from everyone and everything to be alone. Sometimes we may feel guilty or selfish for thinking this way, but it is perfectly normal. It is alone is the best thing we can do for ourselves. To be alone means we be all one with the Spirit within. When we are alone, we have the opportunity to get in touch with, to talk to be guided by our power source. The Spirit. To be alone means going to the sense of your being to ask questions within and get clear, concise answers. To be alone means taking time to give to yourself a small portion of what we have been giving to ourselves for so long. It is like drinking from the fountain of restoring to bring back your physical, mental, and spiritual health. To go ahead, tell them all and don't feel bad about saying it. I want to be alone. Today I am all one with the Spirit within. I had never been content except that I make prison. When you concern yourself with doing only what others think you can do, you lay the floor of your prison. When you conform your activities based on what others might say and you put the bars around your prison. When you allow what others have done or are doing to determine what you can do, you build the roof on your prison. When you allow fear, competition, or greed to guide your actions, you lock yourself up and throw away the key. It is our concern over what others say, do, and think about us that imprisonment presents your mind, body, and spirit. What others people think about me is not my concern. Aha, beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Our deepest hour of need, the Creator asked for no credentials. There are times when we feel bad about ourselves. When we have done what we are facing, if in these moments we even believe we deserve to be punished because we are bad to have done bad things. There are limits that we feel so low, we convince ourselves that we don't matter and neither does anyone else matters. That is when we actually start to think about God. Is there such a thing? Does God really care? Maybe if we had to God before, we wouldn't be here where we are now. No matter we are here, so let's go. This is a prime opportunity to make a new start, begin again, and move on. The key is to remember that no matter where we have been, what we have done or how awful we feel right now, the one we may be running from knows exactly what we are. He has placed a light of peace in our hearts. The prayer will flip the switch. I look within for all the answers I need. You must learn how to make it on the broken pieces. Ripped from their land, stripped from their culture, religion, name beaten for rebelling and blamed for the state of existence, the descendants of Africa. Indians have the right to feel broken. Being broken do not mean you are unequipped. There are enough pieces left for you to grab onto, hold on to, and paddle your way to shore. Your life is a piece that equips you to have a goal. Your goal is the piece that will equip you with confidence. Your confidence is the piece that will give you persistence. Your persistence is the piece that will ensure your success. There are pieces from your parents, your friends, even foes. There are pieces of books, songs, and experiences. More important, there are pieces that well up from deep inside your being that will guide you surely and safely. Pull them all together and hold on. My piece may be broken, but I am going on anyhow. Right? You are as much as you are right now. We have such poor images of ourselves where we have difficulty understanding the good others see in us. When someone gives you a compliment, we are quick to point out what is wrong. When someone supports and encourages us, we remind them of our failures. We play ourselves down to such a degree that others begin to question the faith that they have placed in us. This vicious cycle can only lower our already low self-esteem. Today is a good time to rethink our thoughts about ourselves. We can accept the compliments we receive when we give them to ourselves first. We can build our confidence by celebrating our small victories and successes. We can support the faith and trust that we have in us for supporting and having faith in ourselves. It all begins with our willingness to acknowledge that we are really fine just the way we are. I'm really okay with me. I really am okay with me.